Hey there, action fan, it's RWBY review time. Today I'm looking at Season 2, Episode 10, Mountain Glen. The episode begins with Yang, Blake, and Weiss sitting around characterizing themselves and explaining their backstory. Those three are so considerate. We learn that Weiss's dad is an evil corporate overlord who puts profits ahead of what's right. We also learned that Adam is sadly one of those Machiavellian cutthroat revolutionaries.
What'd you want, Luke Skywalker?
That would have been nice.
Unlike the people who try to overthrow governments.
And finally, that Yang is an adrenaline junkie, with a lot of respect for the purity of her little sis's motives. Later that night, prompted by Zwei needing to answer a call of nature, if you know what I mean, RWBY stumbles onto the White Fang presence in Mountain Glen. Then, after falling into a freak sinkhole, RWBY has to face off unarmed against two White Fang flunkies.
Gentlemen, place your bets.
Too easy. RWBY may not have Crescent Rose, but she's still got her super speed, and probably a couple of weapons stored away for emergencies just like this. RWBY for the win.
There is no way a 95-pound girl can take two stormtroopers in a hand-to-hand fight. I say the White Fang.
And the winner is the bad guys with a first-round knockout.
Say what? Oh boy, this is bad. So the White Fang troopers drag RWBY to their boss, Roman Torchwick.
And the plot thins.
So it's down to the other 3/4 of RWBY and Dr. Oobleck to rescue her. Okay, this episode was okay. It's a setup for big events on the horizon. Let's look at the character development, which all happens in one big long talkie sequence between Weiss, Blake, and Yang. While it does get everyone's point of view and motivations across, it's not the best kind of visual storytelling. We also learned that Oz the Great and Powerful has one hell of a backstory. Not that they let us in on that, but it's good to know. And also that Adam was not the nicest guy in Remnant. On the world-building front, learning more about the sad, untimely end of Mountain Glen was interesting and sad.
What do you bet Roman's plan is to release a horde of them grim things into the city using those tunnels?
No thanks. I've bet enough today. But it isn't all doom and gloom on the horizon. There are some funny moments with RWBY and Zwei, world-class champion of cute that he is, and Dr. Oobleck's supersonic explanations and finally busting out his weapon, whatever it is, was great. The art design on the underground White Fang base and the destroyed city of Mountain Glen aren't really thrilling me. But then RWBY isn't really about the awesome location design, but when they have such awesome character and weapon design, that's not a big deal. Okay, now it's time to break down the good and the bad in RWBY Season 2, Episode 10, Mountain Glen. On the good side, RWBY and Zwei were an adorable team. The world building and character development was interesting, and we're right on the edge of a cliff for what's sure to be an awesomeness extravaganza next time. On the downside, this episode is yet another setup episode, and we've kinda had a few of those. And it would have been nice to see more when the girls were giving the details on their motivations. So I give RWBY Mountain Glen a 3 out of 5. If you're interested in more reviews of anime, movies, TV shows, comic books, or video games, check out my channel on YouTube at StupidPrivate913, or find my Facebook and DeviantArt pages for video updates and more. Thanks for watching.
Hey kids, today's show is brought to you by the letter 4 and the number potato! I'm a stupid private.